Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sunny, aka the Oracle of Alexandria, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Moon Crystal Tarot. And oh my goodness, isn't that box gorgeous? The way the foil changes a rainbow of colors, I absolutely love it. So this is a Sailor Moon inspired tarot deck, and it is a full deck. It is not just major arcana. And unlike some of those out there, it isn't just repeated artwork with different characters and different outfits. You know, it's a completely uniquely illustrated deck with a lot of thought that went into it. And I'm very excited to explore this with you today. I've been wanting to use this in readings for a while, but I didn't want to take the cards out of order until I could show them to you first, because for me, resetting, putting a deck back into its original order, which I probably wouldn't remember by the time I filmed this for you anyway, is like resetting the deck. Basically, it cleanses all the energy and it's back to square one. So I don't like doing it, but I have to for a few of the videos that I filmed anyway. So I'm excited to get into this, to share it with you. It's a very cool deck. There's a lot to love here. I was actually a little bit on the fence with it because the translation of the artwork from anime style to realistic style really didn't work for me, at least not in pictures, and it might not for you also watching this video, but when you see the cards in person, all of that doubt, for me at least, it went away. And I had been on the fence with this deck for a long time, and then I finally took the plunge, and I'm really glad I did, because it's really a cool deck. So it was Kickstarter funded, and it's created by a small studio, you know, an independent artist. It says, share the love, justice, and magic with the Moon Crystal Tarot. Created by Alexandra Aquilina in 2018. The second edition was printed in China in 2019. And then there are a couple of websites there, mooncrystaltarot.com and screengirlberlin.etsy.com. And that second link is actually where I picked up my copy of the deck. So this is mostly in mint condition from how I received it. I did open it and look at the cards. I have not done anything else with this, so I put it back mostly intact for how I received it. And when I ordered it, I got this beautiful vinyl sticker that says "Fight Like Usagi," which, you know, there are various illustrations or iterations of this, "Fight Like a Girl," and then it has, you know, a Sailor Moon weapon or character or Xena or something like that. So I really love that. And this is the card for the shop. Again, Screen Girl Merchandise. Let's see. Screen Girl Merchandise is a one-woman business featuring original designs inspired by Gen X nostalgia, female and religious icons. I'm sorry. I might have said archons there. Icons. Pop culture and cats. I strive for ethical and sustainable manufacture alongside an inclusive, feminist, activist, and DIY ethos in all I make. I also offer print and design illustration services. Love, Alex. Okay, that's very nice. Also, before I continue, I do want to say that the box is very sturdy. It's very nice. I believe you can purchase the deck without the box. The box is a separate set. If you want it, I definitely recommend it. It has a nice magnetic clasp here. It's very, very strong, very beautiful, very nice. Okay, so beneath the business card and the lovely sticker, we have the deck in the deck bag. And this actually is just printed with a sort of metallic sheen to it, but it's not rainbow. It doesn't change the way the box did or anything. Okay, Before we get into the deck, I do want to get into the guidebook, which is absolutely awesome, to the Moon Crystal Tarot, and then look at the other extras that came in. So this, I believe, is like a tarot journal to record readings in, and it's really nice. It's recycled paper. It's possibly handmade, and it's really beautiful. Again, it doesn't change rainbow colors like the box, but it is rainbow metallic printed, and it's really beautiful. It has a nice texture to it. Okay. And then this is the inside of the box. It has that beautiful foil wall on it and everything. And this, again, is like the top of the box. It does actually change color with the light and everything. And we also have a tarot cloth here. So the tarot cloth is a bit on the small side. I use in my videos the tarot cloth by James R. Eads from the Cosmovisions and Prismavisions Tarot and Oracle decks. And it's a fairly large cloth. It's probably not the largest ever, but this one is more like a handkerchief. Let's see. Okay. And again, it's printed with a metallic ink to it. It's fairly thin material, but it is very beautiful for what it is, what you get. And it's got all of the various sailors, planet symbols, and symbols along the border here. It's got this beautiful, ornate, original design, because you've got the Sailor Moon locket here. I guess that's a flower, but anyway. So, and this is actually upside down. So it is very thin. As you can see right through it, if that influences your decision to pick it up. But I believe I read somewhere, in fact, it might have been on the card. Let me see. Here we go. I read somewhere that she does screen printing, so she may have printed this herself. I don't know. But it's beautiful, and it is really nice, but it's not very thick. It's not very sturdy. I don't know if I will use it or not. Maybe when I use this deck. Let's see. Underneath this, I have a sheet over my table. It's just let's see if that color comes through, because if it does, then maybe not. Okay. So no, it doesn't. If you have this on something with a plain background, it's fine. It doesn't show through, thankfully. So, and it is really beautiful. It's got all of your symbols there, and I absolutely love it. It could be, a little bit better, but I don't recall it being particularly expensive. The whole set, I believe it ran around $170 for everything. So, okay, and for me, at least, as a lifelong Sailor Moon fan and a collector and a tarot collector, it was well worth the price. But, for you, I want you to know that it is a little on the thin side. But overall, it is really nice. It's very beautiful. I would use it with care, though, and not use it on like a dirty surface or anything like that. I would always have something underneath it. Okay, so we already looked here at the tarot journal. Again, it's really beautiful. That's all there is to it. The cover and then the recycled paper inside. So this guidebook is fantastic. It's probably one of my favorite tarot books ever. It's very short. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information for each card, but what it gives you is what you need to know to use the card in a reading. So I really love it. This is The Guide to the Moon Crystal Tarot with art and text by Alexandra Aquilina. It says on the back here, unlock the secrets to the Moon Crystal Tarot with this wonderful pocket companion, which will guide you in interpreting your cards and assist you in reading spreads. Okay. Now, let's take a look at, so there's really not a whole lot to say about the book in terms of formatting. There are no pages, there's no index, no anything like that. It gives you the major arcana, it gives you an introduction to the major arcana, and then it gives you their meanings here. Then it skips to the court cards with a nice introduction to the court cards and the numbered minor arcana. And then it gives you, information about the court cards there. For the minor arcana, we get a nice introduction to each suit and then just a list of short information, very brief, but very practical and useful information. And then at the end, you have, we can get to the end, some original spreads here. So you've got spread tips, 1 card daily pull, 3 card spread, fairly typical stuff, and then special spreads here, the star spread and the moon spread. Okay, and I think this is where I read that, yeah, she's a screen printer. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but that could mean that she printed this herself, that she made this herself. I have no idea. I saw in a deck that I backed on Kickstarter a while ago, an Oracle deck, that their original tarot cloth for that deck was being screen printed. So if she does screen printing, she may have printed this herself. All right, anyway, so I want to go ahead and take a look. I just really like her introduction here. The major arcana represent the path to spiritual self-awareness and assist us in searching for meaning and direction in the universal forces of life. A.E. Waite's major arcana is heavily based on universal overreaching archetypes, which can repeatedly be found in various religions, cultures, psychological theories, and of course, pop culture. These archetypes have been translated into the selection of characters, their personalities, and powers to create a special, unique deck which is still familiar to the tarot user. The major arcana represents the journey of yourself, the Fool, through various and important stages and relationships in your lives. Okay? I thought that was a really nice, very succinct introduction to the majors. I'm actually going to come back to the book a few times to look at what it has to say about the court cards, because I want you to understand her decision with the court cards, and we'll even look at the introduction to each suit. But anyway, so the deck bag has a nice thick drawstring, very sturdy. This material is essentially the same material as this, but maybe I'm reluctant to say, because you can see right through it. You can see the other, so I'm reluctant to say it's a little thicker, but it does feel maybe just slightly thicker. So I wouldn't say that this is extremely durable. In fact, I would be wary of pulling this string a lot and sealing it up, because it might eventually wear through that fabric. It is a little on the thin side, but it is very nice. Let's see. Okay, so there's the tag on the deck bag, and the back is blank. It's just the front that has the little... Okay, so the deck came in a tuck box, a very nice little tuck box. Travel on a magical journey through the tarot with the Moon Crystal Tarot deck, based on the symbolism of the A.E. Waite Tarot. Enclosed, find 78 illustrated cards carefully matching character personalities and powers to card symbolism. Share the love, justice, and magic. Okay, and then you have all of the same copyright information. Okay. I found this very difficult to open, and so my box got a little ripped. It does seal very securely, which is why I did not close it all the way. And then the cards have the same beautiful metallic edging as the box has on it. Unfortunately, mine have a scratch on them. And there's also another scratch. Let's see. Well, I thought there was another scratch on... Yeah, okay, you can sort of see it over here a little bit. It's not as bad as the other one. It didn't just completely remove the edging, but that is a little disappointing, especially for the price of the deck. But we go on, we live, we make do. Okay, so here is the Fool, and it has Usagi, of course. The cardstock is very nice. It's very flexible, but it's not super thin. This is, I think it's maybe 350, could be 330, but it's very sturdy while also being flexible. It's matte, so it's not glossy at all or shiny, but the colors actually really show up well. Oftentimes with matte decks, the colors will be very washed out, and instead the colors actually show up very beautifully here. Now this is not any sort of foil or anything, it's printed and it looks exactly like this, and that's just how it looks. Alright, so we have the Fool, which is Usagi, or Serena for those who grew up with this in the 90s in the US. And she has Luna down here with her, wearing her yellow ribbon from the movie, or one of the movies, I should say, this Super S movie, I believe it is. So, alright, now this is one of the things that really put me on the fence with this deck, is that the realistic art style combined with sort of inserting anime characters into the traditional card imagery rather than creating a unique aesthetic. It's almost like they took Ami and forced her into the traditional magician card from the tarot, the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And so you have this sort of cartoony anime character in a realistic style forced into a realistic world that doesn't really... There's a little bit of clash there, and it gets worse as we go on. But honestly, it had me on the fence for a while, but it did not stop me from getting this deck. I do still really love this deck, and I'm still looking forward to working with it. But anyway, so as you know, we have the Magician here, and we have Ami, or Sailor Mercury, as the figure on the Magician card. And this one I really love, and it is the High Priestess, and of course it features Rei, the Shinto priestess of the series. But again, you have that traditional High Priestess black and white pillar with the, you know, Jewish mysticism stuff in there, but she's a Shinto priestess and an anime character. Like, there's a bit of a disconnect between the scenes that the characters were forced into and the overall character design. So that doesn't really fully work for me, but in the end, I found that I loved it overall more than I didn't, and so it was a worthwhile investment for me. Okay, now this card is probably the most gorgeous card in the entire deck, and it is the Empress, and it features Neo Queen Serenity. And of course, the Emperor is Neo King Endymion, I guess? I don't know. But we'll go with that. Okay, the Hierophant is Tuxedo Mask. I'm not entirely sure on what they were intending here. I'm not sure if this works for me or not, but I mean, okay. Tuxedo Mask does sort of set up a tradition for almost every episode in the series where he appears that repeats itself over and over and over again. And so in that sense, I can sort of see him as, you know, the keeper of tradition. But I don't know. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Okay. So we have Minako on the Lovers card with Artemis and Luna. And you've got the traditional burning tree and the apple tree, or fruit tree. I'm not sure if it's an apple tree. But, and Minako is kind of taking the place of the traditional angel figure, angelic figure that is on the card. Okay, the Chariot. We have Sailor Galaxia. The face looks a little odd on this one. It almost looks kind of cat-like, like she's in a production of Cats on Broadway or something. But, I mean, it works. You can tell easily who the character is. Let's take a look at the guidebook and see if we can try to get a sense of what she was going for with Galaxia on the Chariot card here. Two sides of the same person. Which choice will you make? Either choice could yield good results, but the charging chariot requires you to be determined and stay in control as you choose the path to achieve your goals. Get moving, be determined, and you will succeed. Okay, so I guess I sort of see that. Instead of two horses and a charioteer, you've got two sides of the same person. So you've got minus the charioteer, unless maybe the moon is sort of the charioteer here. I'm not sure. But okay, I can see what they were going for there. All right, we have Makoto on the strength card. And that lion looks an awful lot like a lion from, Steven Universe, if you've seen that series. So that's interesting. I'm surprised that the artist didn't decide to go with a realistic lion, considering, every other card has very realistic stuff on here. And then just randomly we have the Steven Universe lion kind of shoehorned in. But I'm okay with that, because I loved Steven Universe almost as much as Sailor Moon, so it works. All right, the Hermit is Sailor Pluto. And I absolutely love this. I think this is, perfect, really. A perfect combination of character and tarot card. One thing that is disappointing for me is that neither Sailor Moon nor any of her Sailor Senshi appear in their sailor outfits. They're always wearing different clothing. But other characters appear in their sailor outfits, like the Sailor Starlights from season 5 and the Amazon Quartet from the comic book. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. I love Usagi's locket, her transformation locket as the Wheel of Fortune there. I feel like the rest of the symbolism is a little bit lacking. Normally there are 4 figures, a bull, a snake, an eagle, and here we just sort of have I don't know, is that Anubis? And then a snake and that Sphinx, but it works, it's okay. Justice. And on Justice we have Haruka. This one actually, in pictures, her face looked very masculine here. It almost looked like just a man sitting there to me. And that was something that was a bit off-putting to me, because her androgyny is kind of an important aspect of her character, her gender fluidity in a sense. And I think my camera is picking it up a little better, especially on the close-up. But also in person, it looks a lot better. She looks more like herself than she did in pictures that I saw elsewhere. Okay, the Hanged Man. We have Queen Serenity. This is Usagi's mom from the Moon Kingdom. Really beautiful. An interesting choice, but I like it. Okay, Death. Of course we have Sailor Saturn here. And again, she's not in her sailor outfit, unfortunately, but she still carries her glaive. So, next is Sailor Neptune, or Michiru, on Temperance. And then, so for those who haven't read the manga, this is Queen Metalia, or seen the live-action version of the show, which is actually surprisingly decent for the corners that it cuts. But yeah, this is Queen Metalia. from the manga. And at one point, she does sort of have Queen Beryl and Endymion, or Mamoru, Darien, whatever name you call him by, imprisoned in a sense like this. So that is a great choice for the devil. And this is not the only reference to the comic. Actually, now we have Sailor Moon Crystal, so a lot of what we had that was original to the comic is now also in animation. And the tower is Tokyo Tower, which appeared in the comics and in the new Sailor Moon Crystal animation. But prior to Sailor Moon Crystal, it was really only something that was featured heavily in the comics. Okay, we have the star here. And the character appearing on the star is Princess Kakyu, or the Fireball Princess. I don't know, I can't tell if that's in the art or if that's some sort of defect in the printing, but overall the art is really beautiful. I think she did a good job with it. Okay, the moon. We have the Black Lady with her Luna P companion there. That's really cute. And this really works for me. It focuses a bit more on negative aspects of the moon, but that's okay. You know, each deck is going to do its own thing, and it's going to do it differently. Okay. Next is Chibiusa, or Small Lady, with Pegasus, although he doesn't have his wings. I guess he just took them off. And yeah, so Helios is on the Sun card, which I really like. And it's cute. I mean, again, the faces always just don't translate well to a realistic style for me. This one here, Judgment, I have no idea what that is supposed to depict, to be honest with you. But it's pretty. It's really pretty. So this is a great example of what I was talking about with, you know, traditional tarot imagery and then, you know, the stuff unique to the Moon Crystal Tarot. Let's see if maybe, the book doesn't really tell you. Let's see. With the Judgment card, past and future come together as we are compelled to pause and reevaluate our old decisions to be able to change our path to the future we want. Okay. So, yeah, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. If someone knows, please let me know in the comic. I'll probably feel like a fool saying that. I don't know, but I'm stumped by that that imagery. I don't know. Okay, the world, and we have Sailor Cosmos here. So that really does make sense for me, because she's not the sailor of a specific planet or solar system. She is Sailor Cosmos, of the entire cosmos. So, all right, so I wanted to stop and take a look at the guidebook here. Sorry, that's the tarot journal. Okay, let's see if this is in the same order. The minor arcana, much like the major arcana, each pip deck from ace to king represents its own journey, from beginning to uphill struggles and finally a resolution with the court cards. The royal court goes on to highlight different levels of efficiency and approaches to various aspects of life, from our possessions to our intellect, from our relationship to our abilities. Okay, and then, great, we'll save this section on the court cards here. Let's see. Just want to, okay. So the Suit of Cups. The Suit of Cups represents our relationships. They help us understand how we express our feelings, our emotions, and our creativity. I really like that. You know, I really like the way that the author worded things, and you can really tell that a lot of thought went into the creation of this deck and the booklet. So, the Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups with Ailey and An, or Alan and Anne. I think that might be the Doom Tree, sort of in the background there. The Three of Cups with the three lights, or the starlights. This is probably my favorite minor arcana ever because Starfighter is probably one of my favorite non-main character in the entire series. Okay. The Four of Cups with Prince Sapphire from the start of season 2. And then here is Prince Diamond or Demond. Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. We have Chibiusa's friends from school. I really love that they include so many different characters. I think this girl is meant to be Chinese, and I'm not sure about the boy. I mean, in the series canonically, not just in the cards. I wish I could remember their names, but that's like hardcore fandom knowledge. So, Seven of Cups. I love how a lot of the things that are actually in the cup are sort of things that Usagi would actually be interested in. Okay, the Eight of Cups here. We have Rubius, I think. I'm not sure on his name, but... And then for the Nine of Cups, we have Emerald, or Esmeralda. Very beautiful. She's got everything, but she doesn't completely look happy. I guess if you zoom in, she does, but from a distance, she looks a bit melancholic. And the Ten of Cups. We have Luna, Artemis, and Diana in their human forms, which happens a lot in the comics, and now, of course, Sailor Moon Crystal, which isn't all that great. Okay, alright, so this is the Page of Cups, and I want to stop and read what it has to say here. So, the court cards in this deck have been given a special twist and are significantly connected to one another by their powers and abilities. All 4 suits are separated by their elements: fire, air, water, earth, each symbolized by colors and other elements on the cards apart from the protagonists themselves. The court cards have also been given different names to reflect the female nature of the personalities depicted in the deck. The pages become sisters, the knights become Amazons, the queens become Junonians, and the kings become Jovians. I will elaborate on these further on. So these are the sisters from the second series, the second season, start of the second season. This is, in English, she was called Birdie. And in the Japanese version, I think she's called something like Bertier. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's her. Okay, and this is, again, in English, she was called like Para Para. I think in Japanese, she's called something like Pala Pala. And this is one of the cards that really don't work for me. So she's in her sailor suit, but she's on a very realistic horse, and she's got that anime hairstyle that's just like insane and impossible in reality. And yeah, I don't know. And again, you see these characters in their sailor suits in the comics, and probably eventually the last season of Sailor Moon Crystal. Okay. So here we have the Junonian of Cups, which is Ami, of course, Sailor Mercury. And the Jovian of Cups, which is Michiru, or Sailor Neptune. So I want to go ahead and, let's see. So let's look at these real quick. The sisters are 4 women who have been offered a second chance at mortal life. They are new to this world and are excited and eager to start their new adventures and to see where life takes them. They're not necessarily young, but their spirit is. So I really like that final catch there. They're not necessarily young, but their spirit is. Okay, with the Amazons, The knights are a team of fledgling warriors sent to protect their young princess. They are energetic and full of life, and sometimes a bit mischievous. They are more experienced in combat than the sisters, but are sometimes a bit reckless. Okay. All right, the Junonians. Juno is the queen of the gods and the planets in Roman mythology. The Junonians represent the inner court. They are the wise confidants of the queen herself. That is, of course, Queen Serenity, Neo Queen Serenity in this case. They are caring, fierce, and protective of that which they hold dear to them. And then the Jovians. Jove is the king of the gods and the planets in Roman mythology. The Jovians represent the outer court. They are older, wiser, and calmer than the inner circle, making them seem more aloof and detached. They have traveled through time and space to protect their queen out of a sense of love and duty. Okay, so that's what we have going on here. We have Ami as a Junonian of Cups and Michiru as the Jovian of Cups. And now we get into the Suit of Pentacles. And I quite like this locket as the choice for the pentacles because, like, that's how it looks, literally. So it's a great choice, really. Okay, and this is one of the enemies from season 3, I think. I know this is Kaori Knight, I think. On the 3 of Pentacles here, I do not remember the girl from the 2 of Pentacles. Hers is sort of on the tip of my tongue, but it's not really coming to me. This season is actually one that I'm probably least familiar with. So, okay, we have Hotaru's dad and baby Hotaru here in the 5 of Pentacles. Very cute. And then in the 6 of Pentacles, we have older Hotaru with Chibiusa. Very cute. 7 of Pentacles, and again, this is one of the, I think the Witches 5, but I'm not sure. One of the Academy students. This one is, oh geez, what is her name? Like, I should know her name. She was in it for a while. The 8 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is Mistress 9, and I really love that choice. And actually, she's a good choice, like in terms of character and energy for this card. So, all right, the 10 of Pentacles. The Sister of Pentacles. And that is Prisma in English, and I don't remember her name in the Japanese version. Then the Amazon of Pentacles. And again, her name is not really coming to me. Is that Ves? I'm not sure. Visu, I have no idea. I don't remember. All right. Now we have the Junonian of Pentacles, which is Makoto, and the Jovian of Pentacles, which is Setsuna, or Sailor Pluto and Sailor Jupiter. It's really beautiful. Okay. All right. The Ace of Swords. I really wish they had used her Sailor Moon Super S wand here instead of like taking the handle of it and then putting a sword on it. Yeah, this is one of the things that I like least about the deck, but there you go. Okay. The 2 of Swords. We have Sailor Tin Nyanko. And I love this. This is after she's sort of been healed from Galaxia's power. She's struggling with her light side and her dark side. But here, she's maintaining balance, at least. That is such a fantastic choice. Okay. The 3 of Swords. Generic 3 of Swords. The 4 of Swords, we have Helios in slumber or hibernation with a beautiful stained glass window of Chibiusa in the background. Okay, the 5 of Swords, we have Zirconia or Zircon collecting the swords. There's nobody there who's been beaten. They're just picking up the swords. The Six of Swords, we have the Amazon Trio, and I absolutely loved these guys. Hawk's Eye, Tiger's Eye, and Fish Eye. For the Seven of Swords, we have Sailor Iron Mouse. I don't think she was in it for very long, but she was really cute. For the Eight of Swords, we have Sailor Lead Crow, and these are named after alchemical concepts. For the Nine of Swords, we have Nehelenia from the Pegasus season. The Ten of Swords, we have Sailor Aluminum Siren, and yeah, that's a good choice for that card also. Okay, the Sister of Swords, we have Avery from the English one, and I unfortunately don't recall her Japanese name. I grew up with the 90s English dub, so unfortunately, that's the first that comes to mind. For the Amazon of Swords, we have, oh gosh, her name is on the tip of my tongue and I can't remember it, but hopefully you know it, dear viewer. Okay, and then for the Junonian of Swords, we have Sailor Venus, or Minako. And for the Jovian of Swords, we have Sailor Uranus, or Haruka? Yeah, Haruka. Honestly, Sailor Venus as the Jovian of Swords was a bit of a surprise for me. Like, I would have put her as the Queen of Wands, but when I actually sat down and thought about it, like, she has a sword in the manga and in, of course, the Sailor Moon Crystal anime now, among other things. And so it does make sense if you stop and think about it. But personally, I would have put her on the Queen of Wands, I think. All right, so the Ace of Wands. This is what should have been used for the symbol of the Suit of Swords, and then they could have literally used any wand for, like, she had so many wands throughout the series. This one would have been fantastic for the Suit of Wands, but instead they used the sword-looking one. Yeah, I don't get that choice, but, you know, I'm not the deck creator or designer, so. All right, the Two of Wands. Queen Beryl here plotting conquest. We have Zoisite on the Three of Wands, one of my favorite enemy characters from the first season, Zoisite and Malachite and their romance. The Four of Wands, we have Usagi's parents, whose names I do not remember. The Five of Wands, we have the Doom and Gloom girls, or the DD girls, I think they were also called. Okay, this card is the most horrifying card in the deck. The Six of Wands, we have Chibi Chibi from the Sailor Stars season, and you can see what I mean of, like, translating a cute chibi anime character to real life style and proportion. It didn't work so well, and it's kind of frightening. But, I mean, I applaud the artist for trying, and I think they did a good job for what they wound up with. It's just, it didn't translate clearly. All right, the Seven of Wands, we have, at least in English, I'm pretty sure he was called Malachite. I don't actually remember. I think it might have been different in the Japanese version, but I can't remember. All right, the Eight of Wands, typical Eight of Wands. The Nine of Wands, we have Nephrite. The Ten of Wands, we have Jadeite or Jadeite. The Sister of Wands, we have Katsi. Again, I don't remember her Japanese name. The Amazon of Wands. And then the Junonian of Wands is Sailor Mars. And the Jovian of Wands is Sailor Saturn. And again, they're absolutely gorgeous. So that is the Moon Crystal deck. I'm going to go ahead and leave you there, but let me know what you think about the deck. Do you have it? Have you worked with it? Do you enjoy working with it? How do you find it to be in readings? I think that it has a lot of potential to bring a lot of new and additional meaning to various cards and their meaning and symbolism, and just overall I feel it was really well done. The stylistic change is a bit rough and hard to kind of get used to, but once you do, it's a really beautiful deck. I really love it. I do wish that, the Sailor Senshi would have appeared in their sailor suits, but, we can't have everything. And I think what is here is amazing, extremely well done. I really love the set. If you can still get it, I will have a link to the shop on Etsy where I picked up mine. It's worth picking up for a fan, for a collector, for even, an experienced tarot reader. This deck has a lot to offer, I think. So thank you so much again for joining me. And again, please let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to see some discussion on this deck. And hopefully you will join me for another video very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, everyone. And like I said, hopefully I'll see you soon.